Alright, let's watch this space. Okay. Hello everyone, it is 4 o'clock.
So we are gonna play some mm2.
3.5 years since the attack on the
As you can see down in the bottom right corner, I have VIP command.
We'll lead once more. Special counsel Jack Smith's cases against
So
Donald Trump
that's helpful.
Just this afternoon, the special counsel moving to discuss the federal election case. Also asked a court to dismiss his appeal of Judge Eileen Buchanan's ruling calling out his indictment of Trump in the classified documents case. The move was expected with Trump's election victory, since it's the Justice Department's policy
Okay, so I'm
sitting
sure
presidents cannot
here's
be
what we're gonna
prosecuted.
do.
Smith writing in his filing to
We're
Judge
gonna
Chutkan
do
today,
that.
quote, "The department and the country have never faced the circumstance here where
So as you can see, I'm completely invisible.
has been returned by
Nobody can see me
criminal prosecution is already
at all.
when the defendant is elected president. In other words, criminal defendant Donald Trump got out of his legal troubles by getting elected president. The special counsel making it clear that his request to dismiss the election case has nothing to do with the merits of this case or the evidence he's compiled. Instead, it has to do with a constitutional contradiction that could have serious consequences for the rule of law in this country. Special counsel saying, quote, "The government's position on the merits of the defendant's prosecution has not changed. The circumstances have. As a result of the election held on November 5th, 2024, the defendant will be certified as president-elect January 6, 2025.
Okay, so as you can see, I died there. Okay, that was stupid of me, but still, I've got VIP command. So this is not my actual avatar. This is just my Anakin avatar. My other avatar looks ugly because I don't have enough Robux to like make it work. Let's go. Okay, we got it. Oh, invisible. Nice, using the invisibility. Anywho, stop messing around. Alright, so, when you look in our inventory, as you can see, I'm elite as well, and I also have every weapon. Do I got any illegals? Yes, I do. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Excellent. Good. Cool. Gotta go in this, gotta go in this, gotta go in this. Going in this. We need in this. You can see I typed that wrong. Oh, they know where I was, because I didn't use it in the beginning. Next time we'll use it in the beginning. But yeah, I've got every weapon. Even all the coded weapons. I've got that game pass up there. 100% all best weapons in the game, or access to all damage cast weapons, swords and guns. Yeah, I've got every weapon. But, moving on, we're not going to play this game because I am there for an hour.
So it was no question that this was going to be dismissed, but if you're going to dismiss it, I mean, why on God's green earth?
Sure, what's a good game? I have a good game we let's play.
Let's see. Which means the case is
I have a good game.
And why
I have
not just
a really good game.
take the, as Lisa said, a flyer, why not take the possibility that it would be dismissed without prejudice and it could be revived later? I do think that there is a big, that's sort of like not surprising. I do think there is an open issue as to whether Jack Smith should have simply waited.
Chat, what should I do? What should I play? I don't know.
It's much more likely that Judge Chutkan is going to agree that that should be dismissed without prejudice. That it's not gone for all times and all purposes. But at the same time,
I wanted to show you Bloxford.
Requiring
actually, we'll do emergency plan
president to do it himself.
he's sort of doing, in some ways, the future administration's work for it. In other words, to the extent that there's any
Okay, so to be fair, I do rage quit sometimes, but
why not say, you know what, Donald Trump, if you are going to dismiss a righteous prosecution, you are going to have to do it. We're not going to do it. So it's a trade-off because he's getting a more likely dismissal without prejudice.
Okay, there we go.
But sort of more into Molly's field, which is sort of political repercussions. He is in some ways doing the work for the incoming administration.
If we get to 50 subs, I'll post a live video.
Know about it, right? One of the things is we saw all these cases and they never broke through because the media is different, right? It's on podcasts, it's Joe Rogan. So, you know, if it ends up being talked about on Joe Rogan, then people will find out about it. And if it doesn't, then it won't. I mean, that's the sort of siloed effect we're in right now. There was a piece from the Smith filing that I thought
chat low-key was stranded. We didn't even take off yet. That's how bad this game is. That's how bad everybody in this game is. We didn't even make it.
Superseding indictment against the defendant could be held in abeyance until he is no longer immune from prosecution. OLC
Chat Loki, what should I do? We don't even leave.
Even if the case were held in abeyance applies to the situation where a federal indictment was returned before the defendant takes office.
Clap on.
Does that mean he asks Garland's DOJ to weigh in on this? What does that tell us?
Clap on.
That they're in an unprecedented constitutional situation and that they need some guidance from OLC, which many people understand is sort of an
I don't know, that was unexpected. What's your avatar? Oh, by the way, my avatar is a Mexican Iron Man. Hey yo, were we a sub or bomber? Clap on. It may seem that our brains don't but did I have to be redeemed, but did they post and something to me? Because in the basement we told him. Oh, Loki chat is broken. Oh my god, so laggy. It'll be laggy. Oh no. Okay, we're not like Loki, that was broken. Loki. Some people do that some days. You know what?
Before I can deliver a report on my investigation to Merrick Garland that I intend to have see the light of day.
So, Andrew, I want you to weigh in on Lisa's analysis. I also want to know if you think we ever get to see that report, if it ever becomes public.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really very much we're sort of dancing on this head of a pin on sort of like, you know, should it be dismissed with prejudice or without prejudice, and will it make any difference, and should he have waited to have the DOJ do it under the Trump administration versus doing it now? All of that is sort of, you know, like, this is like the kind of thing we're gonna get some pew-pews. Sort of off camera and super nerdy, but I think, Alicia, in many ways, the key issue is the one that you are raising, which is, will there be a report?
Yeah, I'll do a face reveal at, let's say, like 100 likes. If we can get 100 likes,
council rules require judgments. Now, it does not have to be as lengthy as the CanStar report or the Mueller report. There's no requirement with respect to the length. It is also a report that initially is given by the special counsel to the Attorney General, in this case Merrick Garland, secret. That's required by the rules. So the special counsel has no power himself to make it public, but Merrick Garland does. I do think that Merrick Garland has signaled in the way he has treated other special counsel reports, Rob Hurt, to be precise, that he is certainly has a penchant for wanting those things to be public. The problem here is that there, at least with respect to the Mar-a-Lago case, there are two co-defendants who are the cases in proceeding.
Okay, it's just faster leveling.
No
Dang it.
request by Jack Smith
right
to dismiss
there.
as to those people. Now, Donald Trump can pardon them. He can also just direct his Department of Justice to dismiss the case.
Fine.
But because there are these two co-defendants in the Mar-a-Lago case,
We're gonna
meaning
snipe.
the
We're
report that
gonna
is made
snipe.
public where
I don't care anymore.
part
We
of the
need
case,
to
the
snipe.
investigation of the Florida case,
We're gonna
as they will not want to prejudice the criminal case against those two defendants, even if, as everyone knows, it is highly likely that Donald Trump will get rid of
lucky
that
they
part
got
of the
lucky.
case. And so I think there will be a report. It will be highly redacted. As to Florida, I do think we'd see a report as to the DC case.
And what do you think happens, Lisa, to Walnut and De Oliveira?
I think Walnut and De Oliveira are almost certainly going to be pardoned, particularly Walnut, whose loyalty to the former future president is unquestionable. You know, Boise, you know that I have been to all four of the cases against future President Trump that have been tried, and then all of them, Walnut was a presence. Walnut doesn't go anywhere that Donald Trump doesn't take him at this point. I think those are likely to end up pardoned, but to Andrew's point, the pardon will come after Trump becomes president again, and therefore there is a real dilemma with respect to the release of even the delivery of with respect to that.
Lonnie double
Even
pump my
though,
report
as
on
it
it.
stands right now, that case has been dismissed. What is still pending is an appeal of the dismissal, which was premised on Judge Buchanan's finding that Jack Smith didn't have any constitutional authority to bring it because he never should have been.
She's killing all of us.
The way that Jack Smith writes this, and the fact that in some ways they close us with these legal cases, Molly, it feels
I don't
like
know how
a
to
period at
but
the end of the sentence at best, an ellipse, because it may continue
How?
into
What?
the future. I think that there's another way of looking at this
Who's
question
hacking?
of presidential power, which is as more of a prelude or prologue for what is to come as a constitution. Yeah, I mean, there is the big question that all of us don't really know what this second Trump emboldened presidency with lots of caveats and everything looks like. But I just want to go back to the Mueller report for a minute, because we'll remember the Mueller report came out and Bill Barr got ahead of it, right? And he was sure to write things and sort of spin it as hard as possible. And I just, it really did, in the end, it worked. Can I ask you, Andrew, what this means, if anything, for Fani Willis's case in Georgia?
So the state cases cannot be dismissed by Donald Trump. As president, you do not have power to dismiss the Georgia case or the New York case. But there is a high likelihood that those
I don't get why
cases
they didn't come through.
put on pause.
Wow.
That is something that is being sort of litigated right now in the New York case. Which being dismissed or put on pause. And the argument for that is really
So they're gonna try to
aside that
kill
we're talking
me.
about Donald Trump. Do you really want, with respect to any president, 50 states that have the possibility of charging a sitting president and making it impossible for that person to do their work? Yes, they could be charged after they leave the presidency, but during that time, there's sort of a supremacy clause argument that the federal government needs to be able to operate with its elected official. So those cases, I think, will at the very least be uphold during this time period. So this is the very bad news for people who want to see legal accountability one way or the other, which is with respect to 3 of the 4 cases, there will not be trials, during at least the next 4 years.
So let me ask you about that, Andrew, because I think you're landing exactly where most of our viewers will land, which was, will there ever be accountability, and was this all for naught?
So, all for naught, I first want to commend New York State, not just because I'm a resident
We
here.
need sniper. We're going snipe mode. We're going snipe mode.
Went to the trial and
We need snipe mode.
what I would say is justice in action, and I'm not talking about the
What's it?
results. We saw a really wonderful judge, a sober, experienced judge. We saw a great wearing on both sides of this case, and we saw a serious jury. And there is a result. It pleased some, it displeased others, but that's the way our legal system worked, and that is the one sort of shining light in terms of the criminal justice system. As I repeatedly said, the rest of our criminal justice system, as especially compared to other countries that have managed to figure out how to hold political leaders to account in real trials, not show trials. You know, we get an F, but Judge Marchand stands out from that as somebody who was able to get his case to trial to a verdict. But you know, I think for many people, this is something where this sentiment in Jack Smith's filing today that you quoted from Louisiana about a man being above the law feels very hollow because you have one man who is
Not really
managed
interesting chat.
to